Alright, the boys ending explained.
Welcome back to Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Airy, and let's talk about the series finale of The Boys. Spoilers are ahead. We're going to break...
Now listen, I did just record a reaction to this final episode, and man, what do y'all think about the ending, bro? Because, man, listen. When I seen what Huey did to Butcher, bro, that whole season turned to a 0 out of 100, you know what I mean? They fucked up so bad with that ending, I don't know. I'm gonna leave the link to that in the description. Let's look at what this dude says, like explaining things. Cause, listen, maybe I missed something, bro. I don't know, but I don't like at all how it was basically a filler season for a spin-off show, which I'm not gonna be watching. By the way, I'll tell you that right now. I'm not watching that. But let's see, man.
Break down the final battle with Homelander, the final confrontation between Huey and
Now,
Butcher.
I did like the fight of Homelander versus Butcher. That was nice. But where the hell is Maeve? Where the hell is Soldier Boy? You know what I mean? And why the hell did Ryan lose his powers? Ryan is supposed to be like the next heir to Vought. He's supposed to be like the actual Superman. You know what I mean? Like the good Superman. But he lost his powers. I don't like that.
Which characters can return and...
I didn't like at all how Butcher died. I didn't like at all how it was a trash. Like they pulled it up last second to, you know, advertise their spinoff. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to be called like The Lads or like some shit. I'm not watching that, bro.
Spinoffs in this new, unironically titled Real Life VCU.
And it doesn't make sense how Huey, the biggest pussy in the entire show, ends up shooting Butcher, which is like Butcher's like the top G of the whole show. You know what I mean? Like you can't just kill off Butcher like that. It would have been better if Butcher died to like cancer or something after he lost his powers. They forgot to mention that because I'm pretty sure Butcher had cancer and then used the V to like not die from that and get some powers to kill Homelander, and then they just like completely forgot about them. Didn't make sense.
Now, our own Colton Ogburn is writing our big Easter egg video where he's going to break down every detail of this episode. But right now, we are going to be focused on the ending for each character and talking about whether or not they stuck the landing and also where these characters are going to show up next. So,
are y'all going to be watching the spin-offs, bro?
Started. So, last episode, Homelander finally took the V1, which made him functionally immortal, and the...
Also, listen, Homelander, by the way, alright, this is my last time pausing, okay, for a while. I don't want to keep pausing every second, but... Bro, Homelander taking the V1, Homelander should have became, like, more of a menace. Like, you know, this dude didn't do anything menacing. Like, the entire season then. He just kept talking about, oh, I'm gonna kill, like, whoever doesn't believe. We need to see that, bro. You know what I mean? The best scenes of Homelander was when he shot that plane down. You know, that was completely unexpected. What else was it? When he lasered that dude that, like, hit Ryan in the head with a bottle. You know what I mean? That's prime Homelander. You know what I mean? This season, we got none of that. He was just a complete fucking baby, just sucking on his little milk.
Strongest soup who has ever lived.
And he went out, he had this, like, went out so sad, bro. It's the worst way to go out is what Homelander said after he died. And actually, if you know who the Joker is, he actually has a quote that people show you who they really are before they die. So, this dude, he's a little bitch, alright? That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know if you watched the last episode or not, but what this dude was saying on his way out, man, zero respect. All the Oracle is gone. Everything is gone.
Long, he's been trying to build a church around himself, but he
let's
insists
watch.
that everybody
No more
actually believe that he is a god, and not just pretend that he's a god because they're afraid of him. And we see this exemplified
I
in
like
this conversation with the
how
Deep.
Firecracker got killed because she's a piece of that sold her soul.
Whereas last episode, he let the
sold
legend
out
live because
her
he actually stood up to him.
You know what I mean?
Scared
at
of
his
you.
church.
I feel for you, kid.
So all of this creates the theme of this episode, which is belief. Homelander has only been allowed to remain in power so long because people believe in him. They don't believe the video of him threatening people in Flight 37 was
this
real.
is prime Homelander, bro.
Started using bleeding edge technology.
That's the man, and honestly, he should have lasted the crowd right then and there, and this season might have been a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean?
They also believe that he was justified in killing an innocent bystander. And so this final battle is not about...
Yeah, so the craziest scene we ever got at Homelander was him shooting that one guy. Like, you know what I mean? After that, we expect, like, you gotta top that. And what do you do to top that? Alright, kill the whole crowd now. That would have been like, alright, now Homelander's like actually the biggest menace in all history of characters, of villains. Like, you know what I mean?
Killing Homelander, it's about killing...
Instead, look at him on his knees begging, talking about he's gonna eat shit, he's gonna do this, that. I can't even repeat what he said.
Similarly, each character has their own struggle with belief all through the episode. Like Huey says about Butcher at the end.
But he never gave up hope.
And Kimiko is only able to depower Homelander because she sees a vision of Frenchie who helps her believe in herself.
Rage is not what makes you strong. It has never been mon cœur.
And Annie has a conversation with Marie about how her belief in soups was shaken by her first day in Vought Tower when she met...
Where is Maeve? Because Maeve is not dead. You know what I mean? I genuinely think the show ran out of budget and could not hire the actor back. I genuinely think that.
Let them see you.
The same thing with Soldier
Yet,
Boy, bro.
Marie reminds her
Soldier
that she
Boy
should
isn't
still
dead.
believe
In the last
herself.
episode, they could have brought it back for like the final fight. That would have been fire. Like, you know what I mean?
Not every character gets a lot to do in this finale, but the episode focuses on bringing story arcs full circle to the first episode of the first season. Now, this is fitting because episodes of The Boys often begin with similar visuals and themes. For
See,
instance,
that's
this episode
prime
begins and
Homelander
ends
right
with the
there.
funeral.
In the
So
elevator
fact
with the
that
blood
this
on his
episode
face.
ties back to the very first
We
episode
didn't get
of the
none
show
of that.
means the whole series has a tidy bookend. For instance, when Starlight first arrived in Vought Tower,
It doesn't
the
have
Deep took
any
advantage of her.
tidy
It's just
book.
a question of how bad you want to be in the 7.
Now, this was her first sign that the world of
Damn.
Soups was not the optimistic,
By the way, that
idealized
happens
world
in
that she
Hollywood.
saw
What
on
happened to
TV,
her?
and it began her true hero's
out if
journey.
you're in
So it's
Hollywood,
fitting
man.
that she finally gets justice from the Deep, who of course blames her.
But all the bad shit started when you showed
I
up.
like how they
All
killed off
season
the
long,
Deep,
The
though,
Deep has been
'cause
running a Manosphere
he shouldn't
podcast
get a
telling
redemption.
everybody
Like,
how
he
to
was
be a
just a piece of
man.
shit, you know
But
what I
when
mean?
she tells him to grow up, he reacts like a toddler. Then he's ripped apart by marine life, kind of similar to the death of Scar in The Lion King. Now, the Deep deserved this, and not just for the pipeline incident,
We know it was you.
but also because of what he did to poor Ambrosia. Now, there is obviously so much stuff coming out right now, and I'm really grateful that you guys are so patient with us when it comes to releasing our breakdowns. It really does seem like everything is
Is
just
this an ad, bro?
non-stop this year. We go from Marvel to Star Wars, The Boys, movies, TV shows. And
Yeah,
here's the
we
thing,
gotta
I
keep
love
up
it. I remember like
with
when this
the,
channel really
Marvel,
took all
like,
of the
those,
stress
yeah.
onto myself.
I knew it was an ad,
was
bro. I
lucky
just
I
knew
found
it, bro.
BetterHelp,
These people are
right
too
fit for
predictable.
you based on Screen Crush and get 10%
All right, let's go,
off
let's
your
go.
that show sets them up to be a
Good.
major part of Starlight's resistance. But all season long, they've been pushed to the sidelines. At one point in the show Gen V, Marie was even teased as this Omega-level soup whose control over blood could stop even Homelander. However, this season, the Gen V kids are mostly absent. In this episode, 3 team members appear and then shuttle the Homelander non-believers to safety. Now, Gen V is not renewed for a season 3, but that does not mean that we'll never see these characters again. That could just mean that they are done with the setting of a college campus. In fact, I have a theory on where these characters will show up next that I'll talk about later in the
Yeah,
video.
so they're
Just like in
100%
the original
doing a spin-off.
comic,
Are y'all
Butcher
watching
takes
it?
revenge by killing Homelander with a crowbar.
This was
Well,
horrible.
technically it's Homelander's clone, but you get the point. And then he tells him that this is for Becca. Now in the show, several plot threads come together
Yeah, that
as
was
Ryan
horrible.
does
This
the right
fight-
thing
this
and
fight
puts
was
his
good.
dad in place.
This fight was
Later
good.
on, Ryan even clarifies
I know
that he
people are
only
hating
did
on it,
this
but
because
it's
he
a good fight.
believes that his dad had to be stopped. Again, going back to this episode's theme of belief. And like I said earlier, Homelander is not defeated when he loses his powers. He is beaten because he shows his true self.
Pathetic.
Please, I'll do anything.
Colton talks about
Pathetic.
that in our Easter egg video. It's great. It's going to be up on the
Pathetic.
channel really soon.
The
Now,
worst
in
way to
Homelander's
go
final
out
moments, he
as a
behaves
grown-ass
like an ordinary
man.
person, so people stop believing in him. In the book Story by John Truby, he says the
As a
stories
grown-ass
are
man,
founded
if
on
you're
an
about to
idea
die,
called
bro,
the
that's
lie
not
the
what you wanna
character
say. I'll tell you that
believes.
right now.
For instance, in the movie Star Wars, Luke
At least
Skywalker
go out with
believes
some
that
balls
he
on
can
you,
never
you know what I
leave
mean?
home and have adventures.
Such a long way from here.
That's your uncle talking.
Now for Homelander, the lie that he believed was the idea that he was actually superior to everyone else, when in reality he was always weaker than the people around him who didn't even have powers. And for Butcher, the lie that he believes is that someday he could go back to normal. After the fight, he makes Ryan an offer to settle down.
We could find somewhere quiet, start again. Just you, me, and Tara.
And after Ryan rejects him, we're reminded of what Kessler, who remember is Butcher's own self-hating inner monologue, said about him last episode.
And then he'd admit that he had this darkness inside of him.
Ryan was tied to Butcher's old life with Becca, but the
Dad,
final
look at
time
Ryan
in
when he
their
was a
life
kid,
their
man.
dog Terror. Now Terror had an entire segment devoted to him in the episode One Shot that culminated in him eating chocolate and almost dying. And now we see why that storyline was significant. His death is what finally sets Butcher over the edge, and Billy stops believing that he could ever live a normal life. He believes the lie that Kessler said about him, that he is fundamentally a rotten man. Then Colby Menefee's Ashley Barrett tries to claim that Butcher was working on behalf of the CIA, which, by the way, could be setting up the spin-off series that I'll talk about later on. And I love this gag that she is like
No spin-offs,
immediately
man.
impeached.
I did
No
absolutely
spin-offs.
nothing wrong.
We
That
don't want
was
it.
former President Ashley Barrett, who, by an unprecedented unanimous vote in Congress, was impeached.
Stan Edgar ends up running Vought again, just like in the comics when Vought continues on after Soups tried to overthrow the government. They even try rebranding them with blank suits, but it doesn't work. My favorite thing about The Boys is its
What the
commitment
fuck?
to capitalism
That
and
looks a bit
funding our
similar.
economy through the consumer-driven engine of progress. And it's taken from their final encounter in the comics, which took place on the roof of the Empire State building. Similar to the show, Butcher has a detonator that will fry the compound V in the blood of every soup, killing them immediately. And in the show, he's going to release the virus in Vought Tower. This is, again, a full circle.
And he should have released it, because Butcher is right, bro, that if you don't release it, there's going to be a next Homelander. That's why I don't know, like, why Huey was fighting him and killed him to not release it. Like, it's so stupid. Makes zero sense.
The pilot of the series. In that episode, Butcher coerced Huey into stepping into this very room to plant a listening device. So this room brought them together at the beginning and at the end. The two of them fight, just like in the comic, but beforehand, Huey tries to talk Butcher down. Huey always believes the best in people, and he tells Butcher this.
You never did. It's already in you. I can see it.
But Butcher believes that there is no good in him, but his younger brother Lenny was an actual good man. And of course, Huey is a parallel to Lenny in this show. Butcher's aunt even said,
"Isn't he the spittin' of Lenny?"
Which is why Butcher looked out for Huey over these past 5 seasons. Remember, Butcher's father
It would have made more sense
grew up
that
hard just to protect
Butcher
him.
just ended up... So after they started showing, like, Lenny's face over Huey, I thought Butcher was just gonna drop it and, like, you know, be a good man. And that would have made more sense than Huey reaching 20 meters. By the way, because they showed the gun. It was on the other side of the room, basically, okay? He reached 20 meters like he's fucking Mr. Fantastic. Grabbed the gun, and this was in 0.1 seconds, by the way. And shot him, and, like, Butcher doesn't even react. Like, if someone's laying down in front of me, and they have to reach, they have to grab, they have to shoot, that takes, like, 5-6 seconds to happen. Like, you know what I mean? Zero sense, bro. Zero.
In this final scene, Butcher has become just like his
like,
old man.
did I miss it? And, like, he regained his teleportation powers, like, last second? I might have missed that. I don't know. Let's see if this dude explains.
This is why, at the final moment, Butcher freezes up and can't hurt Huey. Colton Ogburn had a great observation in his Easter egg video for this finale that Butcher takes his finger off the trigger just as Huey is
Yes, that's what I thought, bro. When they showed Lenny's face, I was like, okay, it's over. Like, he's gonna, you know, put it down. And then out of nowhere, in 0.1 seconds, he reaches the gun and shoots him. Like, so fake, bro.
On the gun.
Trash.
But Butcher's belief that he is a terrible person is partly correct. He actually would never be able to stop hunting soups. Without someone in his life to love him, like Ryan, Becca, or Tara, he would continue to seek revenge on every soup alive. So Huey actually does him a favor by ending his pain. And by the way, his last words,
"You really are a spitter, Lenny."
show that at least in death, he won't be the kind of man who hurts the innocent. After Huey's eulogy, again, which is about belief,
but he never gave up hope,
we begin the ending montage. Huey and Annie go to the steakhouse, the Juicy Rack, where Butcher said he wanted to go with Lenny.
What was the name of that topless steakhouse? The one in Reno, the one you and Lenny wanted to see.
The Juicy Rack.
And the end song is Piano Man, which is appropriate for a couple of reasons. One, Huey loves Billy Joel.
Don't you ever besmirch Billy Joel.
And two, the song is about a washed-up lounge singer taking requests from the drunks in the crowd to sing just one more song. This is a song that is about lost people who hold on to the belief that their lives can be better, which is appropriate for the team, the boys, and the theme of this episode. We see MM renew his vows with Ryan as his best man and his daughter as the maid of honor. Kimiko follows up on her plan with Frenchie to go to Marseille.
Oh, yeah, bro. Also, MM should have died, bro. Like, the fact that... Why the hell is MM still alive? Like, you know what I mean? Frenchie's death, okay, I guess that was decent. Butcher's death, very obvious death. It was Butcher. Very obvious Homelander's gonna die. Other than that, bro, no shocking moments. Like, see, that's one of my biggest problems with this. No, it was such a predictable ending. Like, if you watch my reaction, I'm gonna put it in the description whenever I upload it. But, bro, I predicted the whole episode. I was like, listen, Kimiko's gonna hit him with the blast, whatever. Butcher's gonna die. Now, I thought Starlight would be the next face of Vought in the spin-off, what should have happened, bro. But they didn't end up doing any of that, bro. They went with fucking Huey turning into Fantastic Four, grabbing the gun and shooting him in 0.1 seconds.
Bob Singer, played by the great Jim Beaver, is once again the president. But how'd that happen? He was arrested. Well, that's because Singer was arrested and taken into custody, and in his absence, the Speaker of the House became president. But Bob Singer was never officially removed from office. That would take either the end of
they had so much potential that
or a vote of impeachment.
Literally, if I was writing this, bro, I would have made Homelander become the president, you know, and then all the soups, you know, work for Homelander, and they're just killing, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking kill everybody, you know what I mean? That would have at least been a bit shocking. Instead, what did we get? We got fucking Seth Rogen in the basement, getting ran like to death by that one dude, washed up soup, whatever his name is, the fast dude. I don't know, man.
Run the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs, which is the agency that Victoria Newman ran in season 3 when Huey worked for her. But Huey
what happened to Newman?
So he can stay
bro?
retired.
We needed her
see
this
why.
season.
In another full circle
did they just
moment,
forget to hire her back?
His
The
own
budget ran out again.
store like the one he worked at in the pilot episode.
Because clearly the budget ran out on Maeve, on Soldier Boy, and on Newman.
Superhero life, even though she is with child. Yes, and
there's so many characters that did not show up in the final season.
Step out to the curb.
Like, am I crazy?
Like how Huey and Robin stepped onto the street in episode 1.
And the fact that this dude named his son or daughter after this girl, bro, and Starlight has no problem with it, bro. This like what is this world
Robin
that I'm in?
Killed, the event that sent Huey down this path. And for a
back
moment,
when the show
Huey
was good and had
her
some
name.
fucking shock factor on it.
Now, at first, I thought this was a slip, and it meant that he wasn't over Robin. But it turns out that the baby is being named in tribute to her. It is a perfect ending for his character that shows he's still able to honor the woman he loved, but move on with somebody else. Then there's a really sweet mid-credit sequence to honor the crew that brought this show to life. To celebrate our commitment to buying your happiness, all of our Boys parody merch is 15% off our merch store, where we
Come on, brother.
But the true climax of the episode is the confrontation between Butcher and Huey. Now, I think this is a great finale, but it does leave the door open for more.
How is this a great finale in any way?
Rising, which is about Soldier Boy, bomb site, and Stormfront, and it's set in the 1940s. However, I think this universe is going to continue in the modern day, but largely with a new cast. Like Butcher said,
it's going to be true.
That's already out there becomes the
next Homelander. And that's why he should have released the virus, bro, because he's trying to save the world from the next Homelander.
As long as Vought is out there making Compound V, it's only a matter of time until more people start abusing that power. The theme of this show is that power will absolutely corrupt and separate the powerful from the rest of humanity.
See, we needed to see that. Bro, that would have been such an aura scene.
I think we could see another character take the reins of the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs, and that is Queen Maeve. Right now, she's powerless.
They can't afford her.
World.
They can't afford her. She didn't show up in the final season. You're telling me she's gonna show up in the spinoff now?
Soups like the Gen V kids to police rogue soups. Remember, Soldier Boy is still on ice, and now they have the technology to give any soup the ability to drain powers away from somebody else. But for me, the big question is, what would this new spinoff be about? This series was a parody of pop culture and politics, so maybe the next series could focus on the world stage. What would happen if other countries got soups? Maybe the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs stops being about controlling
what the fuck happened to
soups
Victoria
and becomes a way
Newman?
to use them to gain international leverage against rogue states that have their own powered people. A spin-off show could still be a way to parody pop culture. I mean, after all, there's still like 10,000 soups running around who are all trying to be famous. But then again, maybe post-Homelander, the public really believes what Butcher said.
Superheroes are done.
Maybe superheroes really were a fad that has died down, which could be a meta-commentary on superhero fatigue that seems to be plaguing the box office right now. So in this world, what happens when thousands of soups are suddenly out of work? I think these soups might get angry. They might turn to crime. And this is where the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs would come in. The Gen V kids would be part of a task force to stop this new era of supervillains who act with impunity against regular people. Or maybe the story is just effectively done and there's nothing left to talk about. What do you guys think? Would you like to see another spin-off that picks up where
there's no way I'm watching anything related to this after how they just did Butcher, bro? There's just like I just can't, bro. It just because that was like the biggest sellout ending. Like, oh, like let's just sell out and fucking make Huey the hero, which he's like the biggest pussy on the fucking planet in the show. Okay, and Butcher, the main character of this entire show, went out fucking sad. All right, doesn't make sense. I'm good. I'm not watching any of this. They sold out. Fuck them. All right. What do y'all rate this, bro? Listen, I actually like the fight of Homelander and Ryan, and Butcher. I think that was a good fight. Okay, I don't think Ryan should have lost his powers.